Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play the 13th Age. This is our 60th session, and I'm very excited to bring it to you.
If you listened to one session, every second you would be listening to a minute of sessions. Also, you would be some kind of time wizard to listen to the sessions that fast. That's pretty good.
Congratulations, Time Wizard. Welcome to our game.
Teach me.
Do you think they have an apprentice time wizard who only managed one per hour or one per minute per hour?
That's still pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
still,
You have to start somewhere.
In any case, last time the party got out of Concord onto a boat and reunited with their long-lost pal Nav. Nav told them a nice long story about how he became pretty much the biggest name in death.
Well, I mean, there's Death himself.
Yeah, but like, still, you know,
Like,
Some
walk on
kind
this-
of a big deal, though.
In terms of dealing death and managing death.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Nav. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell you short on this one, buddy. But in any case, the original crew back together again.
Hooray. Gilder,
Yeah.
Golden Brass, Nav, Agatha,
That skeleton,
those skeletons.
those skeletons.
Some kind of mermaid.
I don't see
I
that.
never heard of it. Anyhow, you are now sailing on to Omen. However, the crew and the Cream representatives and everyone else who knew the hidden route to the Arcane Harbor has left the boat and fled in terror of the Ship of the Dead.
Oh. They must have been really put off by how cute these skeletons looked.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's that whole...
Ew.
They don't
Like, when you
deal
get-
well
when
with
you get used-
juxtaposition.
Yeah, when you get used to generations of like dirty, cracked skeleton hordes, and then you see like some well-dressed, polished ones, I guess it's too much for you. You just assume the worst. But anyway, I think I'm gonna ask Gilder and the skeletons to take the cream ship back to, the Necropolis ship back to Necropolis, and we'll keep going on our way.
Yeah. It's nice to have the world's most legendary hero as your zombified manservant.
Everybody knows his name. Everybody sighs at an annoyance at one point in their lives. That's his one unique thing. I want that to be his one unique thing. Everyone has sighed his name in annoyance at some point.
Yeah, okay. That's how it is.
Limousine.
Sometimes even in other languages.
So anyhow, you can clearly get to the island of Omen, but it would be nigh on impossible to get to the front door. You're going to have to find a back door, realistically speaking.
Well, let's go around to the other side then.
Do the documents that I swiped from what's his name
Mm-hmm.
any information about possible entrances and exits to the island?
Not really. Like, that... It mentions a security briefing and, to always have your identifying sigil with you. It talks about smoke breaks, just anything that you'd think would have information on entrances and exits doesn't. There's also no map of the facility.
That's probably too classified to put on the job application.
Yeah, pretty much. That's your guess, and it's a pretty good one.
Can I make a background check?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a background check from basically asking around the skeletons and undead who have been around Necropolis a long time, and probably at least observed a bit of the creation of the secret labs in Omen.
Mm-hmm. By looking out their window wistfully, wondering what it would be like to have Will again.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that's charisma for chatting up people. Okay, so that's gonna be... I'm not gonna use my background as new Lich King in training. So that's a 28.
Okay. You know that, you get good information in that you can infer things from how little information you get.
Yeah.
in that it's pretty darn likely that it's on the northeast side of the island, as in the opposite side from Necropolis.
Oh, yeah.
And the nearer side to Concord. As you sail around, you see something of a natural landing point, not sheer cliffs for one thing. And like that would be a natural point to start, especially if you're trying not to raise the ire of the Lich King himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that
can't.
just imagine
They're
the
about to get it now.
Imagine the neighborhood homeowners association when the only people occupying land around are the Lich King and a secret cream facility. That's going to get real passive aggressive when it's time to put out your Spookums Night decorations.
Hey, I'm finally mowing the lawn. So
Small victories.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Let's
are
land
you
over
going
there.
to put in on that sandy shoal to the north side, or?
Yeah, Sandy Shoal. That's my favorite action hero. My favorite gladiator in Axis.
Really, I thought that was more of a romance repertory performance.
Why do you think Nav likes him so much?
Okay, Sandy. Oh, Sandy.
He's very multi-talented.
Yes, Mr. Butterfly.
Land ho!
Land ho.
Nav is,
Hey!
Nav is gonna start taking off the very extravagant pirate captain outfit he had on.
So as
it's-
you
Pretty good outfit.
Thank you.
as you land, you see that Omen, as is pretty common knowledge, but now seeing it with your own eyes, however many you may have, is a wreck of ancient structures wrecked further by geriatric living dungeons. Whereas in most of the Empire, there are, of course, many brave dwarves who beat them back before they erupt, and heroes of all peoples who delve within them for their great treasures. Omen is in the middle of the sea, so people don't get to them so easy.
It looks like an enormous honeycomb of entrances from different buildings from different ages, almost.
They just crash up and eventually die of old age in most cases, tearing through one another and flopping on top of one another. It's a mess.
Disgusting.
Nothing really makes sense. You'd wager that there's no such thing as a level floor on the whole dang island. And while passages are plentiful, they're nearly all dead ends.
Yeah. And then the ones that aren't dead ends are probably going to be dead ends for us. So we have to find the right entrance. We have to find the entrance that actually leads into Cream's facilities and not just more endless dungeons.
So give me a... So if anybody wants to search for a passage that looks fruitful, give me a roll of some kind. It'll probably be intelligence-based unless you pitch me on a different way to look for it.
I've got an idea.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, as a heating and plumbing repair professional, don't
it's true.
snort at that.
No, you're very good at it.
As a heating and plumbing repair professional, which I have recently become very good at, I figure that their facilities must have some kind of, infrastructure that they have actually constructed, just to make the facility tolerable to be in at all. So what I want to look for is essentially evidence of intentional building infrastructure, to see if any of it has, because if any of it crops up in a tunnel, that tunnel might at least be kind of near.
Absolutely. This will be intelligence-based. Please give me a background roll.
All right. So, intelligence is that number. And that is a 14 on the die, gets me a 24 on that check to find
Congratulations.
pipes and stuff.
You don't see pipes and stuff. This is a hidden base. They wouldn't leave that exposed. But pipes means ventilation. You can't hide gas too very well. You see
yes,
the
I know.
telltale vapor of a heating cooling system.
All right. So we just need to go down through that. Everyone
Yeah.
follow me.
You
I mean, do you suppose that's safe? Just going
kind
through a
of gas-
heating system?
What kind of gas is it actually?
Hold your breath.
scrambling
breathing.
over the various millstones and crumbled Doric columns in that marked whatever living dungeon this used to be. You see, you smell nothing fell about it. It just looks like a condensing water vapor. Like you might get from a heating cooling system.
Well,
Oh, that's how they get you,
Yeah,
though.
it's carbon monoxide. Can't smell it.
It's true. That is
It's
true.
too much for me to bear.
It's the silent.
Let's I mean, we can just make masks out of cloth and go down. You
Now,
guys might be overthinking this a little.
Getting closer, you don't see a grate. Like this escaping gas does not look intentional, but it does mean that there is a passage from here to whatever is making it. Like you didn't get there. This isn't where you start climbing in Die Hard style, but you do know that there is a path.
We're in the right
somewhere.
general area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Question.
And it is a passage large enough for you all to pass through comfortably, like standing.
Oh yes, I'm gonna be so comfortable in this hot, sweaty tube. No, comfortable, yeah.
Give me a question about your hot, sweaty tube, please.
I have a question. It's not about hot, sweaty tubes.
Okay.
If I used the spell water breathing, would that keep us from breathing in whatever gases are coming through the vents?
It would. Yeah, it would. Yes.
Because I think that might be our ticket.
I mean, we were pretty much just assured it's just gonna be hot and humid and not actually poisonous.
And
Oh.
instead, you will be breathing hot and dry air, if that's what you prefer.
It's not
Well, I
the
mean, it
heat.
would keep our hair from getting messed up.
I desperately need that. If you can, if you can swing that for me, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, just keep in mind that I have water breathing in case we need it.
okay. Passing through this, you see some more of those telltale clashes of things, but you eventually find something that looks intact and dwarven. Rip, how smart are you about the past of your people? Remind me again.
A little bit.
Or should we ask Mercury? Look inside yourself to the rage you carry inside.
Okay.
That weird gemstone.
Let me focus real hard here.
Just think
Okay.
about whatever's making you very, very angry.
Rip,
This
right now
voice.
you don't have a sandwich.
What?
This distinct lack of meat available to purchase.
Yeah, you had all this gold to buy meat. We haven't even come across a place to do it yet.
Where's my damn meat?
There's not a butcher in sight.
As the rage flows through Rip, he's able to tap into some of Mercury's knowledge of the old times. And he knows that Cream is not the first organization or group to hide sensitive things on a place like Omen, specifically Omen, places where no one would reasonably want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can tell that this relatively intact piece is of Dwarven make, just from the height of the ceilings, if not the quality of the craftsmanship, which is top-notch. But Rip recognizes the layout as specifically a jail / treasure hold. They're the same thing. Dwarves only have one word for the two.
It's where you put stuff that you don't want to leave.
Exactly. I don't know why nobody else does it that way. So I'm moving you to that little box. That's what that box is.
Oh no, somehow we already got captured and I'm in jail.
Oh no, we're in the
That
wizard.
didn't take
Yeah.
long.
So you are. It eventually dead ends into a stone chamber that isn't particularly large. It's a bit of a snug fit.
Especially
you
for
Who
the
knocked that
top.
over?
Stairs.
Someone is standing on my. Part of my body is that?
A huge stone block stands in the center of this room. 3 short metal rods extend from opposite sides of the block and resemble handles for lifting it. The block is unadorned except for those rods, but the walls of the chamber are carved with likenesses of dwarf kings of old. They are all presented with their traditional weapons. Like, you know how you can tell ancient gods of any given pantheon by like the things they carry? Dwarven kings are the same way. Friezes of dwarven runes run beneath the carvings, warning intruders that this is the treasury of Forge. Thieves and dragons stay out. There are no other exits available.
Well, sorry, Scarlet.
Yeah.
I'm not a thief anymore. I officially changed to a necromancer, so I'm good. But you'll have to wait here.
I mean,
I
Adventurers
only
are
want to
pretty much
steal one thing, and I don't know if it's in there, so it can't accurately determine if I'm a thief.
it's true.
I'm not a thief. I'm just making, I'm visiting my neighbor. I'm being neighborly.
These specific runes do not strike you as particularly magical.
Okay, phew. Okay,
Rip.
guys, we can stop lying about how we're not thieves now.
Rip, as a dwarf who, reads dwarven magic, because, he's surrounded by it, and those of you who cast spells don't get a sense that this is more like trespassers will be prosecuted.
It's just a sign, not a thing.
I take a regular sign just as seriously as a magical sign. I don't
Take
know
a
about
regular sign more seriously than a magical sign.
I'm gonna gingerly touch the handle closest to me and see if I get electrocuted. And if not, then I'm going to try pushing it in various directions.
Okay. You are not electrocuted.
Nice.
Okay, that's a good start.
Now, by trying to push it, you notice the thing about these carrying handles sticking out, these 4 handles, is that they are long enough that you cannot slide the block too far.
Right.
Like, they will hit the wall before whatever may be underneath is revealed.
Can we rotate it?
Yeah, if you want to try pushing it. Like, there's 7 of you, 4 handles, just like put your grit into it and shove.
Let's rotate it.
Is everybody forced to move along?
I
with
mean,
the-
obviously, this has something to do with the kings that are depicted, right? I mean, there's got to be some sort of order. You got to do something to do with them. I
Are there any pictures of the kings or anything like that on the outer walls of the room?
Well, that's where it is. That's
Oh.
where everything is that I described,
The
other
block
than the
itself
blank
is
block.
just
The block is completely blank. You successfully rotated it, which demonstrates that rotating it seems to have no immediate effect, and that it is not attached to the floor.
Okay, but okay.
'Cause,
So
like, it
following
doesn't
up on
just-
that,
It pivots in a weird way, like it goes toward the stronger people. So like it's not on. You haven't invented the turnstile. You just shoved it in a circle. It is completely
Okay.
unconnected from the floor.
but
just getting dragged along.
all right. So Hughes, following up on that, if we rotate it only like an eighth of a turn, then if it's covering up something, we should be able to see the corners of what it's covering up, as long as it's not small enough that it would fit.
It might be very small.
I do geometry on it.
Okay, I'm going to say that while you were doing however much of a turn you did, yeah, that's exactly what happened. You see the corners of what appears to be a trap door beneath the block.
Okay. So
So the block is just big enough that it covers the trap door when it's at the same angle.
Yes.
did we see where the hinges on the trapdoor are?
No, but you did see a keyhole.
I
So,
don't have any keys.
so the images of these kings
Mhm.
that we got, is there anything special
Is-
about the actual make of them?
Is one of them
I'm gonna
wielding a
ins-
keyblade?
I want to inspect them for something, anything mechanical about them, about the picture.
You see, they are all in their most traditional depictions, so there's nothing out of order about them or like where they're looking or anything like that. Do you have any more specific questions?
I wanted to see
Like-
if is it just a picture, or perhaps is there some sort of hidden. I guess
Like,
I'll leave it roll. Is there like a hidden switch or a hidden hole?
Okay.
Or a hidden thing?
You pour your water skin over them looking for hidden cracks
Yeah, something like
or slots and find nothing.
Huh.
Slots.
I missed that guy.
4 slots.
If only we had
If
hidden
only
slots.
somebody had filled in Manuel about what had happened to slots.
If only
How are you
someone
guys
like
talking to?
stole keys off a guy.
He's flown away to the north with his friend.
Oh,
What are you guys talking about?
there was some
We have
guy
this
who
block-
came
we have
after.
we have this block to take care of, okay? I don't want to hear about your imaginary friend.
I mean, he was a person. And then.
Let me use
Whatever.
a robot.
Robots are people. Don't be so prejudiced.
We met like several robots.
Oh my god, you guys.
Would you like to speak to a robot now?
No.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
I'm good.
I want to speak to a robot.
Maybe.
No, I mean, no. No.
We do still have the orb, so we could call up Do4 and ask him about this puzzle.
Hey, Dufour, you ever seen this puzzle before? We need some spoilers.
Could we call up the Dwarf King by like finding a rock? And
Well,
Good
tossing-
news, there are lots of rocks.
Good news,
You've
this is
tried-
one.
You've tried laterally sliding the thing. You've tried spinning it. What other ways can you try moving the block?
We just
We can lift it.
Yeah,
You can totally lift it.
vertically.
What?
So-
This is a 2D game.
Okay, I'm going to need you to, everyone who's lifting, give me a background check based on strength.
Oh god.
And I will add your results together.
How many people are allowed to lift?
As many as you can fit, so I'm going to go with all of you. I'll even allow Bella and Margaret to roll.
22. Not
Me?
the greatest, but I have good modifiers.
Okay, so this is a strength-based.
Yes.
Good thing I've got 10 strength.
26, same as Rip.
What the hell?
Zero.
Damn, Nav, when'd you get so
Us.
strong?
Oh, I flex and try to hide my back dislocating.
And I apply my
Your spine literally
my-
popping out of your.
I'm gonna do Adventure Family for my background.
A
When
few
did Nav get so
discs.
fucking strong?
A few discs popping out and shooting around the room.
I
But
roll
those
a
fucking
19.
foam
I'm not sure we
guns-
can ignore that now. It seems very bad.
Nav, you almost pick those up.
I'll be okay.
Okay,
Yes,
so while
pick
you all are lifting, I will futz around with the door.
Okay, yeah. All those together definitely is enough to lift it. It's
Okay, phew.
it's straining on you, and one of the ladies rolled a 12. So whichever,
me.
it's either Bella or Margaret is having a very hard time. I'm not sure which.
Probably Margaret.
Yeah,
Margaret
Bella's
seems
pretty
pretty
burly.
strong.
Yeah.
Bella's like strong as
Bella
fuck.
just lifts it out without even reacting.
Yeah.
In fact,
Alright.
it's probably mostly Bella doing the work.
Yeah, like,
Probably
seriously,
for your
Bella's
own
super
safety,
strong.
do not put your head underneath this. Only
What?
Only
Hold
your
on,
least-
inspecting the mechanism.
only your least important hand.
All
Okay,
my hands are
uh,
important.
You see the lock trap door. It
Mhm.
every side has a steel rod flush with the floor. And what you gonna do about it? that's
what
what
you
you see.
need. So we need some way to remove those, open the locks.
No, the rods are not in the way or anything. They are like, okay, think of the little turkey timer you plug into a turkey and it pops when it's done.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's
Oh, so they're just sort of in the way.
they're just sort of in the floor. They aren't in the way of anything.
Okay.
Is there
Uh,
anything that requires me to just like reach my hand in and probably lose my hand? Because lucky for you, one of my hands isn't real.
Oh, How
Made out
about
of
a better idea, which is that I can summon hands that are actually not real.
This hand isn't real.
In any case, there's a locked trapdoor.
Does this hand look real to you?
Hey, Rip.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, are any hands real?
I mean, yes.
Holy shit.
No, Rip, it's not. That's not.
Okay, Rip's too busy freaking out, so I'm going to use Mage Hand.
Okay.
Holy
What are you going to
shit.
do with Mage Hand?
I mean, Rip,
Can I
that's
just
not even deep.
pull those
it's just-
rods out of place?
You cannot. They are flush. There's nothing to grab onto.
Oh, there's no grasping on them.
No.
Is there anything on the underside
Can I
of the
coat my
block?
Mage Hand in peanut butter? And then
What?
pull the rod out of the
Yeah,
slot?
use an adhesive.
Is there anything on the underside of the block?
The underside of the block is as plain and unadorned as the other 7 sides.
I think this was just
Dang.
a dwarven.
By that I mean
strength
5
test.
sides. I keep forgetting how many sides a cube has.
It's not those numbers.
6. It's like
Got
a
an 8-sided
dice.
cube right here.
Yeah,
A
it's a
common
D.
cube
It's a
has
D6
six
for
faces.
everybody at home. A
Thank
cube is a
you.
D6.
Take that to your geometry class
A
tomorrow.
plant is not an animal.
Yeah, it is.
Unless... But-
Unless-
I have a cactus to introduce to you.
Is anyone going to attempt to do anything to unlock the locked trapdoor?
I mean,
I
Scarlet,
I-
reverse the polarity of your mage hand and make a magnet. And then
Or cast knock.
I mean, knock
Yeah, why don't you
wouldn't-
just use knock on it?
that's
I mean, would
cheating.
knock actually move the stuff out of the way?
What do you
There's
know?
nothing in the way. It's just a locked door with things around it.
Fucking open the door, Scarlet!
Okay,
Scarlet, use your fake impossible magic
Scarlet,
to get
use
us out
your
of here.
cheating.
You guys,
Yeah,
we've been
fucking
flummoxed this long by something heavy being in front of a door. I don't have
Oh,
high
no.
hopes for the rest of the dungeon.
Good.
What if there's a
fine.
middle-aged man at a desk down there?
No!
God.
Not again!
Well, we might as well
No.
just go home now.
what if there is a reasonably competent security guard?
Come on, open the door.
What if
I
there's
don't
a gas
actually-
trap?
I don't.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm just leaving. Rip just
Okay,
walks out.
bye.
Okay, here's the problem. Knock doesn't actually exist.
Here's the good thing: Nav can probably pick locks, even though he's not technically a thief anymore.
I can't. My arms. It has to be Scarlet.
Well, give
What
it
do
to
you
me.
want
I'm
me to-
good. I'm good at fixing things. This is a door that's broken. It's broken because it's not opening right now.
Right
I
I'm
now,
can
gonna
it's,
magic that thing open. I roll
man,
a 30.
right now it's a cage, and we need a boat.
I rolled it.
Okay, yeah, that's going to beat the DC of the lock. You have picked the lock, it springs open.
What I did was I asked Mint to talk me through it, and then he told me what to do while my mage hand opened the lock.
I could have done
Synergy.
All right, so
Okay,
the door's open. I
the
assume
doors are open.
The hatch swings upward because that would make sense.
The hatch swings downward.
You know,
Inside,
Alternatively, we could have just dropped this block onto it, and it probably would have broken.
the hatch swings downward. Inside, there is you see a stair, a ladder going down to a platform that leads to a twisting staircase. Are you
Okay.
going to continue lifting the thing long enough
Well,
for
If we
one of you
if
to
we
climb down there?
well, if we spin it around, then on the four corners will balance, and so we don't have to keep holding it, and you have to like sneak through a little narrow, small area, but it'll be balanced.
Yes, you have to turn to smoke or liquid or something that would fit
I
in a
mean,
gap
I,
that small.
I might be able to pull that off. but-
Can we just pry one of the bars out of the cube and just put it against the wall? Or is it in there deep?
I think this is actually like one solid piece of iron. And
The
Maybe there's
question
something I don't
is someone
understand.
just going to crawl down there and take a look on
yeah,
what's
Scarlet,
on the other side or
go
not?
down there.
I'll fucking
Yes, I'm
go.
going down there.
Okay, Scarlet. Once you get down there, there is a torch to light if you wish to light it, and but from the hazy light above, coming down from above, you can see a lever.
Oh.
I think we overthought this first puzzle.
I'm going to first of all.
I think
like-
we're all still reeling from the art history puzzle, so we just expect absolutely
from
everything.
years ago. Still shelf. I am going to say there's a lever down here. Do you want me to pull it?
Don't
Yes.
pull it.
Okay, I pull the lever.
Pull it.
All
and
right,
then go
go-
away.
Those four rods raise up, and they take the weight of the
Lifting everyone off the
block,
ground.
and yeah, it pushes it high enough that they only have to sort of duck a bit, unless they're rip. I mean, everything here is built dwarf-sized to get in, rather than shimmying and crawling like Scarlet had to.
It was a really tough fit.
Yeah. All right.
Well, maybe take off some of those hundreds of shawls.
All right, down, you see a great glittering cavern. It is carved out of stuff, stone mostly, as caverns tend to be.
Oh, it's one of those rock-made caverns.
There's one large central chamber and smaller chambers on the left and the right, one each. In the center, you see another stone sitting above the floor. This one is cylindrical in shape, and it is surrounded by 9 statues of dwarves. And I'll tell you what you see on the left and right if you want to go to those chambers.
I want to inspect
Is
these
this the cream
statues.
facility?
This is not.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have
Then we
somebody.
got the wrong door.
Somebody other than me can inspect the left chamber.
I'm on it.
All right.
Hey, what's over here?
Okay, Nav, you see a statue of a dragon looming out of the shadows. Her wings are so vast you initially mistake them for the arched ceiling of the gloomy cavern chamber. Smaller worms coil at her feet. Her stone face is caught in the moment of a fierce snarl or a searing breath.
This is a really good statue, you guys.
It's really good.
That's so lifelike.
It's
I
incredibly
mean, it's
lifelike.
incredibly lifelike.
It's so lifelike.
It's so true to life.
It's almost as if she could come to life at any moment.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's just
Dozens
a
of
good statue.
there are
Don't freak
dozens
out.
of other statues sitting around these glittering walls. Dragons, dark elves, chimera, wilder monsters, each one caught in a moment of savagery. And
Nav is basically going to be your dad at an art museum, like going around very slowly, looking at every single exhibit.
also these 9 statues of dwarves, but most of those look downcast or defiant, not enraged.
Now I was just going, interesting at every single one. Is there, on this thing in the middle, is this like a podium? Does it have any writings on it?
It's a huge block of stone that presumably blocks a hidden trapdoor if patterns stay useful.
So I'm gonna go over.
Unlike the first block, though, this stone has no convenient handles for lifting.
Oh.
However, this room is larger, and there is plenty of space to push the block out of the way instead of having to do a team lift. The carvings in this room are different too. The Dwarf Kings depicted seem stern and threatening, as if carefully watching the stone in the middle of the room. The block is also full of hairline fractures.
So the statues are looking outward from the plinth in the middle, and
Yes.
the beasts are looking inward.
The beasts and the
Kings.
around the walls, you once again have statues of kings, and they seem to be looking very, very intently at the central stone.
See, I would think that the statues of dwarves are meant to be defending the plinth from the beasts, but that doesn't explain why the dwarf kings are also on the walls opposing them.
So did
Mysterious.
anybody investigate the right cavern yet?
No one has looked at the right.
So I'm
hand.
gonna investigate this bring 'em to life mechanism. What is it?
It's
That
just a big old button that says, bring the statues to life to kill everyone in the room.
I'm just going to say right now that's not what it does.
Oh, okay.
It's the night at the museum button.
A stylized statuette. A stylized statuette of a dwarf sits on a plinth at the end of the corridor, while all the other figures you see are incredibly lifelike.
They're
Uh,
so lifelike.
This one is, stylized. It's more
This is an actual.
an artistic depiction of a dwarf rather than. There's no sense of realism
Can
here.
I pick it up?
Its mouth is open, as if speaking. His jeweled eyes glitter with what can only be mischief. Next to him on the plinth is an ale horn, and in front of the plinth is a wooden cask. This pog I picked is supposed to be sort of a wishing well, but I don't really buy it.
No, I don't buy it either.
Yeah.
thought it was like
booze
a-
to dwarf.
The wooden
I thought it
cask
was
is
like a
connected to anything, or is it just a wooden cask?
It's a wooden cask. Do you do anything to it?
Yeah, I want to open it up.
Okay. It sloshes. It is full of. Whoo! Smell that ale.
Ooh, more mead. I'm gonna put in the ale horn.
Okay. You.
This is
you-
a great plan. But you know what? Our problem with these puzzles is always being too cautious, and then we get tired and just do the bad thing anyway. So I say Godspeed.
Listen, we
Just do
way
exactly what the
overthought the
statue
last
wants
puzzle,
to.
so let's just do the most obvious
Obvious.
thing. Yeah.
Well, the most
All right.
obvious thing would be to
Give
throw a
that
bomb at
give
the
that
wall.
little evil looking statue a drink.
it doesn't look evil. It just looks kind of drunk and mischievous.
All right.
Yeah.
Pixel.
Its mouth
He needs a little
is-
hair of the dog that bit him.
Yeah.
Its mouth is wide open. Are you going to pour the ale horn into its mouth or yours? Or on the
Not
ground,
me. I
I
was gonna
guess.
put it into, I guess, its mouth. Yeah, I'll give it.
Its mouth?
Yeah, give it a drink.
Give booze to dwarf.
Give booze to Batmite, who will surely not cause any havoc.
The
Turn our skin into red kryptonite.